Hi, I'm Renee Ng. Welcome to In Focus California, the show that delves into the issues that matter to you. We talk to lawmakers, community organizers, and influencers who shape the policies that affect your life. Today's topic, the public charge law and the negative impact it's having on our immigrant communities. Joining me now to talk more about that are Jim Mangia, St. John's president and CEO, and Rochelle Hamilton, who heads the Benefits Counselors Department. So, Jim, let me start with you. Let's talk about this public charge law and how it's affecting immigrants. Can you tell me more about that?
So the Trump administration decided to propose a change in the rules of public charge in order to stir confusion and put fear in the hearts and the minds of immigrant communities. The proposal doesn't change much, and most immigrants would not be affected by it, even if it were to go into effect. But a federal judge has put an injunction against it, so it's not even coming into effect. But the fear and the concern of immigrant communities has taken hold, and so we're doing a lot of work to educate our patients about the fact that there is no change to the public charge law.
And when patients, let's say they call into the clinic, they're scared, what are they afraid of? What are some of those fears they're expressing?
They're afraid if they enroll into Medi-Cal or other benefits that they could lose their immigration status or be unable to apply for immigration status. Wow. And so many patients are initially asking to disenroll. And then once we explain to them that either they're not affected or wouldn't be affected even if the law were in effect, or that this particular program won't be impacted, then they usually will enroll and continue to receive health benefits and health services at St. John's.
With someone disenrolling from benefits because of this fear that they have, can it actually endanger an immigrant's well-being?
Most certainly. St. John's Child and Family Center provides services to about 25,000 undocumented patients every year, and probably about another 15 to 20,000 legal residents. And what would happen is they would essentially not be able to get their medication. They would not be able to see their doctor. They would not be able to get tests and labs and all the things that you do when you go for a healthcare visit. And so that's why it's so important to educate our communities about the fact that public charge is not taking effect and that it would not affect most immigrants. Okay. But the fact is, the reason that the Trump administration did this was really nefarious. It was done not because it would have a big enough impact on people, but more because it would create fear and would prevent people from enrolling or would cause people to disenroll. And that's what's so insidious about it and so evil about it.
Okay, Rochelle, let me ask you, if there's someone, let's say, that has a chronic condition like diabetes, and they disenroll, how would that impact them?
Diabetes is a chronic condition, so they need continuous health care. They need medications. They need ongoing services that St. John provides. So that would impact them a lot because they wouldn't be able to receive those services. So we try our best at St. John's to educate those patients and let them know that this will not affect them.
All right, and Jim, you'd mentioned, so California is right. It's one of 3 states. They have this injunction, a temporary injunction to block the law. So what happens if these injunctions, if they don't become permanent?
Well, if the public charge rule goes into effect, it'll affect a small percentage of immigrants, mostly folks who have permanent legal status but leave the country for more than 6 months at a time.
They are
consecutively.
affected.
They would be affected, but for the most part, almost everyone else is not affected by it.
And for someone that falls in that bucket, how would they know if they're affected? Would they just call in? Like, what would you, I guess, suggest to them?
That's a good question. I think, when they apply for legal status, the Immigration and Naturalization Service would let them know that because of public charge, that they were not eligible to continue their legal permanent residence, or they would not be eligible to become a citizen.